But I want our viewers to understand what you're talking about and your role as KEPRO, and of course this issue of recycling. So I want you to introduce this properly to KEPRO. The Kenya Extended Producer Responsibility Organization. You are a PRO, and just your role. Who joins KEPRO? These are some of the things that we want to quite understand about KEPRO, even before we get into EPR and how it funds, of course, the Act, that the National Sustainable Waste Management Act. But just introduce us to KEPRO and your role in this.
All right. Maybe just to look at the ecosystem within the EPR space, because we cannot exist without the EPR process, because the Extended Producer Responsibility Framework, once it comes into play, it creates what we call now a PRO. And a PRO is a Producer Responsibility Organization. Here we have all the members of our PRO are all brand owners, producers, manufacturers, importers. Anyone who's bringing a product to put it in the market, that will be our member. And also we have good people who are, I will call them members, who have seen we are doing a good initiative, we can come in and support. It could be capacity building, knowledge transfer. So we have key partners who come in to play in to support that process. So all these members sit in because they're putting a product into the market, into the environment. How will that product be collected after I consume it? After the consumer uses it, what happens to its packaging or to its waste afterlife? So we come together and say, you know, I cannot do it all alone. If you say that, you know, I'm company X and I'm tasked to collect all my waste across the country, it is a huge task. So what you're saying is that, can we come together, all these producers, all these manufacturers, all these importers, brand owners, and sit down and put our funds in one kitty and say, this is the kitty that is going to incentivize the whole process of collecting our waste from the environment. So what it does now, it will engage recyclers on that value chain. Recyclers is somebody now who's gonna, you know, recycle your waste, basically, transform it into another material that has economic benefit for the environment. We have what we refer to as the waste collectors, waste pickers, but now we have transformed them. We are calling them waste entrepreneurs. They are the people who will come to your house and say, you know what, we are coming to collect your waste. What waste have you generated? We are also sitting down with them, gluing them together with the recycler, saying, my waste entrepreneur, there is a recycler here for the plastic. You are able to send the plastic to this recycler. And what happens now with the kitty we have, what we call now the fees that members are paying, we incentivize this process. We put rebates. We say, Mr. Recycler, if you're able to recycle a number of tons of this waste, then we will give you a rebate of so much. So what happens is that we are creating value to the waste you are generating. My material, which I've, as a manufacturer, that I've put in the market, after you use it, I'm creating a value on it. So what happens is that it incentivizes this whole process. So the collector sees the value, the recycler sees the value. What we also end up doing is that we also discuss with the manufacturer, who are sitting within our PRO, in terms of, when you're manufacturing your packaging material, can you ensure that 50% is recycled content? So what you've done now is that me as a manufacturer, my packaging, I'm using 50% of the packaging I sent it out. So what I'm doing is that, for one, I'm reducing my pressure on the virgin material, which means the resources which we are pulling are less. And what it means is that I'm also pulling out what could have been generated in the environment as waste, and I'm putting it back into the ecosystem. So what it means at the end of the day is that you don't see this waste, you know, being disposed, because it has a value. And at the same time, you are creating jobs, what we call green jobs. Waste entrepreneurs, I can tell you now, as a KEPRO, when we started, most of them were informal. And as you know, KEPRO being a formal organization, you must engage with somebody formally. Means you must have a KRA PIN, you have to, you know, do. So how do you transition this waste pickers into entrepreneurs? So that has been a big thing that KEPRO has been doing. What are these things they need to do? So we've managed to transition. Almost 70% now are trading like entrepreneurs, and they're making a living out of it. Yeah.
How is compliance like? You talked about some of the fees that, of course, these recyclers have to pay to join the KEPRO team. But how is compliance like?
Yeah, maybe just to correct you, the recyclers don't pay us any fee. We end up paying them, incentivizing them, you know, giving them a rebate for recycling, so that then they can invest to ensure that the waste they're collecting, they're able to convert it to a material that is of economical benefit. So who pays the fees is the manufacturer.
All right.
You as the brand owner, what you're saying is that you're playing a role. Today, if I'm producing, let's say, a packet of milk, I will have to, and I'm a member of KEPRO, we look at this packet of milk, what is its journey along the value chain of waste? It will go to the consumer, consumer will use it. After you use it, how does the consumer dispose it? Where does he dispose it? Who collects it? After it's collected, where does it go? What does the recycler do with it? Can he use it, generate what we're calling now pellets, plastic pellets, which are like, you know, input from another manufacturing process? You know, you look at the plastic bins that you have, which are generated, you know, from, you know, the whole cycle. So what happens now is that the fee is now we watch that process, how it's going, that value chain. And then we'll come and tell you, you as a producer of milk, for us to get this paper out of the system, it will cost, let's say, abrupt fee, 5 shillings per kg. Yeah. So what it means is that you, as the owner of that brand, you're gonna say, this month I put in 50 or 50,000 packets of milk. So 50,000 packets equivalent to, I don't know, 2,000 or 200 kgs of plastic. Of course, then we charge the fee per kg. So you pay KEPRO. So what KEPRO will do is that KEPRO will ensure that that pack does not find its way to the environment. So what it means is that me as a producer, I'm investing on somebody who should be able to ensure that my waste from my material does not find its way to the environment.